Hello everyone, I hope you're having a great morning, great afternoon, great night, just a great time in general. So we're working with a sideways beanie today. This is just how I'm feeling at the moment, kind of wind one ear out, one ear in. But I hope you're having a pretty great day today. So random thought kind of hit me, it kind of hits me every so often. And have you ever just ask someone what their favorite superpower would be, or even simplified it down? Because 9 times out of 10, whenever I ask someone that question and they're not hugely creative, all I really ever get is flying or teleportation. So I tend to just ask them that question instead of what's your favorite superpower, because no one ever wants to just fully dive into the question and talk more about it. It's a dumb little question, but it can mean a lot of things depending on what you watched growing up, what you were interested in. Even there can even be other superpowers that people can pull from other shows that aren't even just comics and things like that. So it's always interesting whenever you find someone who isn't going to give you just flying or teleportation, or gives you some more ability. But even to just answer the flying or teleportation question first, and then I'll answer that what's your favorite superpower question, because it's not only just a question, it's also like there's more to add on to someone based on what their favorite superpower is. So flying or teleportation, 9 times out of 10, if you hear someone telling you that they like teleportation, they just want to get things done quickly, they want to get to that place quickly. They're not really someone who you're gonna find that wants to do a lot of traveling or really wants to see a lot. And if they do want to see a lot, they just want to do the path of least resistance to go and do that thing, versus someone who prefers to fly, or the ability to fly. They would figure out how that thing works, do more with that thing, because flying has a lot more added into it versus teleporting. If 9 times out of 10, most teleportation abilities just let you move you. They don't let you move everything around you. They can let you move some things, you can touch some things and only teleport those things, but it's not like you can really move off of just a teleportation ability depending on, what you're in. But a flying ability, 9 times out of 10, increases and gives you more abilities depending on the flight you have. Enhanced being able to breathe, enhanced breath, enhanced muscles because of how you're picking yourself off the ground, having to pick people up, just the amount of more abilities you can get from flying versus teleportation, and people still want teleportation. It's really interesting. But then you ask people, or you talk about what's your favorite superpower, and if they don't give you one of those answers, some people give you weather, some people will give you telekinesis. Now, I'm one of those telekinesis people. However, I have found more out that I would prefer what's called psychokinesis, which basically means you can move everything. It's like advanced or ultimate telekinesis. I would very much prefer having that, because then I can just move everything, and at that point, what are hands, and I can just float around and shit. But or I would like cryokinesis, because freezing shit is cool. I mean, Iceman. Oh my gosh, there's so many people that have ice abilities, but I'm not. Like Killer Frost. No, they're like, I keep thinking of like anime characters, not really a lot of characters that people would know with ice abilities. But like, let's look at Iceman, for instance. He looks like this normal, just like ice user, and is just a regular ice user for a ton of the comics. But there's even comics where this dude literally freezes hell, and there's ones where he even freezes time. And it's like, the more you look into ice, the more powers that come from it. Same with telekinesis. And I know it's fiction, but when you're working in the realm of writing and creativity and stuff like that, you can find more stuff the more you research into things. And I like also finding someone that has that creative drive to find those stories, find those niches of powers, and have an interesting take on a power, because then you find that, oh, that person liked a different character than like 5 other people liked growing up. Like, yeah, everyone likes Spider-Man, but how many people like Noir Spider-Man? How many people like 2099 Spider-Man? See, there's different Spider-Man, and but you can say Spider-Man, but I've met people that are the 2 types of people where they'll say their easy answer, which would be Spider-Man, and then someone could refer up and be like, yo, what, do you like any other Spider-Man? And then that's when you get to see them like light up. Because I've met people that don't always like to nerd out immediately, and superpowers seems to be one of those things where everyone's so used to from high school and shit, just being like, I can't be the nerd now. But it's like, I find most of the time we all in some form or fashion are a nerd, and the easiest way to find that out is whether or not someone has a favorite superpower and or what their actual favorite superpower is. Because when you start getting into the conversation, you get to actually, like, 9 times out of 10, people don't even think about what their favorite superpower is, just in a casual, everyday conversation. But then once you get them talking about it and you talk about shows that they watched growing up and characters they like, and then that's when you get to see them form more thoughts about what their power would be. Like, I've met people where they're like, oh, I'm not all that creative, and then I ask them what their favorite superpower is, and then I get like next to a dissertation on what their power would be, and I'm like, sure you're not that creative? Like, you could probably give me a character based off of that. Oh, I don't know how. Okay, well, let's talk about it. And then, like, I've had pure hangouts where I've been driving around with people, and the whole hangout basically started with either one of us talking about some fiction story, either superpowers or magic or something like that. And we just start with a bare bones, and then by the end of it, either one of us or both of us have a character, and we borderline could start a story, but no one ever wants to just sit down and write a story. And you can all start writing a story, if not finding more about people, just by asking what their favorite superpower is, and just watch that little kid in them light up as they think about all the stuff they liked growing up, whether or not it was who had a bunch of superpower, well, who had like no superpowers growing up, which was like Codename Kid Next Door. They were basically the Justice League, kind of, but like kids, and had no superpowers. They just had different tools, so it was kind of like a team of Green Arrows. And then, I mean, it was like a dark verse, so yeah, it makes more sense to use a DC reference. But more stuff like that. You get to find out what people liked growing up, what they would want to be able to do. I mean, I've met people that hardly watched any cartoons growing up, but they're like, I liked Yu-Gi-Oh! And then we've, talked about which cards they liked and things like that in the game, and what characters they liked in the story. And then by the end of it, we probably could have, design them a character for any type of universe, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Universe, or anything, just with little basis of finding out what that superpower that they always had an interest in. Because a lot of times, if, like, say we were in the My Hero Academia universe and we all had a superpower, the amount of more things we could be doing if we just had an ability we either thought fit us, or what other people thought fit us, or even one that we didn't think we thought would fit us, and we made it work for us. But you get to find out so much. And one of my follow-up, which is a really interesting thought bubble or thoughtful question to add on to what would be your favorite superpower, and that is, what would you do with that power? What would, like, not even, you could either say full power or you're just getting it. What would be the either two things you would do? Because oftentimes what people say on their first one is that they would either train or they would, you know, go do something reckless like rob a bank or something like that. But 9 times out of 10, when you tell someone that they have full power over their ability, they don't even think about going to do dumb shit. They're like, oh, I'll go, like I had one of my friends tell me he would have Storm's abilities and would go fix up the rainforest, I believe, or the Sahara Desert. I can't remember which one he said, but he would go fix it or restore it. And I was like, that's awesome. But you don't find that until you start asking these qualifying questions. You can get more, you can build off of it, and people just need to roleplay more. Role playing and getting in touch with your inner child. You can all have these dumb little what's your favorite superpower conversations, and we can all get to know each other a little bit more. And I hope you found this little dumb superpower rambly video as kind of interesting as I did to throw these thoughts out. And, you know, let me know what your favorite superpower would be down below and what you would do with it, you know, weakest and strongest. And, you know, for fun, tell me whether or not you would like to fly or if you would like teleportation. Personally, I would prefer to fly, and I wish I had the Viltrums flying from Invincible because I liked how their flight advanced their strength. But that's it for me. Night, guys. Peace.